Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good everything in between. Welcome back to the What's Going On podcast with Leanna and Gabe. Today, we're going to be talking about Ashley Madison, which I thought was a person when I first heard about this, but apparently it is an organization that I have no idea what it's about. So I'm going to be doing a lot of listening in this episode.
You do a lot of listening normally anyway. Also, why do I get government named?
Yeah.
And you get your nickname?
Because that's what I go by most of the time.
Well, I go by Lil.
Yeah, but, you know. You want me to do the introduction, you got to deal with the consequences.
Okay.
All right? Because this is all I'm doing today is the introduction, basically.
Yeah. Well, you end up listening a lot because I do all the research. But
you do a lot of research. You don't let me do any research.
I just didn't
What I should say.
You'd do it as...
Thoroughly?
Please, yeah.
What I should say, this is your podcast and I'm just a guest on this podcast.
Yeah.
So, of course, you should be doing all the research.
Okay. But yeah.
Anyway. Hello, everybody tuning back in. Thank you for listening once again to our little podcast.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at Ashley Madison today. But before I get into that, how are you?
How are I?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm very warm. It's
very warm. It's very hot.
It's a warm summer.
What temperature is it currently as we sit here?
I don't know. We've been having heat waves in the UK, as I'm sure.
It's 25 degrees.
You are aware. Okay, 25 degrees. That's actually on the... Considering you've had near a 30 in the last couple of weeks, that's...
Yeah, we've had a little bit of a heat wave, another one.
But hey, that's fine.
Is that all that's gone on in your life?
That's all I'm willing to disclose at this time, yes.
Okay. Well, I've been doing nothing either. I mean, I've started writing another book.
Another book, yes, you have.
So I've got currently 2 projects running at the moment, which is not...
Not including this either.
Not including this. Not including the fact that I am going back to uni in September as well. Woo! Which I don't know. I can't remember at what point we were when we did the last episode.
I'm not sure either. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going back to uni to do my second master's.
2 masters.
Because I'm
MSc. You're going to be MSc. You're going to have both
but you don't
those.
put that in your when people sign off their emails and stuff. No, because it's not like
I sign off every email with Gabriel Duke's BA. Ons.
God, why would you want to do that though?
I'm kidding. Could you imagine?
Yeah, that's just awful. Like here's my
here's a reason
degree.
to hate me.
No, I'm joking. Not all bachelor's of arts are useless.
Thanks for
just yours.
Yeah, just mine. Thanks a lot. No, mine was very useful for
social
things.
Yeah. Anyway. I mean, I haven't used my degree to be fair. No, I use my degree every day.
You analyse me.
Analysing people. I just don't use it. I don't get paid to use it.
Not yet.
Yeah, I guess. But I should probably start studying. I should probably start revising because it's been like 3 years since I touched a psychology textbook.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think this podcast is pretty good at revision for me though.
I suppose. Yeah, you do a lot of studying.
But yeah, other than that, I've actually been keeping myself quite busy.
You have?
But I'm just tired.
We're all tired. It's a tiring time.
Yeah, I guess nothing else has really happened.
I guess that's
nothing that we want to talk about anyway.
Yeah, that's what's been going on with our lives.
Yeah, just character developing trauma.
Yeah, of course, personal development. It's fine. It happens.
We move on.
We progress.
Yeah, but there has been a lot going on in the world.
Oh, the world is a place that I barely recognise.
Yeah, a lot of it has been politics, a lot to do with immigration, and I didn't really want to talk about that because
we've talked about that before, and I think everyone knows kind of what's really going on, and there's no real point.
So
talking about some of it.
Instead, I picked something that is, they're both technology news actually, because I thought it was quite fitting because of the podcast episode we're doing, which it will make sense later on. But yeah, technology news. One of them is kind of horrible. It's to do with AI. And one of them is just funny. So which one would you like to have first?
Oh, let's do the horrible one.
Let's do the horrible one. Okay. Yeah. So the horrible one is to do with the fact that AI generated child sexual abuse videos are surging online.
Oh, that's vile.
I think because I think I picked this one because I find it interesting in the way that, because that sounds awful, I say it's interesting about how AI is developing and the downsides to it. So basically, the Internet Watch Foundation has said that AI videos of abuse have now crossed a threshold of being near indistinguishable from real imagery.
Okay.
So last year, in the first 6 months of 2024, they found 2 videos that contained CSAM, which is child.
Oh, hang on. Have we done trigger warnings yet in this podcast?
No, I never actually do it for news because I don't pick news that normally has horrible things in it.
Okay, but this is the horrible thing.
Yeah, the horrible thing is well, I mean, from the title, child sexual abuse.
Yeah, there may be a trigger warning just in that title.
But then I guess it's not, because it's not real. You know what I mean? But oh, what does CSAM stand for? I didn't write it down. Oh, child sexual abuse media, I guess.
No idea.
I don't know why I didn't write it down. But anyway, they found 2 videos that contained this that broke the law in the first 6 months of last year.
Right.
In the first 6 months of this year, they verified 1,286. I didn't do the maths, but that's a big increase,
It's
like percentage-wise.
Oh, well, yeah, that is a shit ton more, I think is the technical term.
So the Internet Watch Foundation has said that the multi-billion investment spree in AI was producing widely available video generation models that were being manipulated by paedophiles, and that the most realistic AI abuse videos seen this year were based on real-life victims.
See, that's a bit fucked. Not just a bit fucked, that's incredibly fucked up, yeah.
The thing is, the good news is that they're cracking down on it.
Well, yes, that's true.
The UK government. The bad news is it's just that I don't feel like they're doing enough. So they're making it illegal to possess, create, or distribute AI tools designed to create abuse content.
Sure.
People that have been found to have breached the new law only face up to 5 years in prison.
Okay.
And the people found in possession of manuals that teach potential offenders how to use AI tools to make this imagery or help them abuse children, and he faced up to 3 years. I don't think that's anywhere near enough.
I suppose, yeah.
But
I think the interesting thing here is how much harm is being done to the individual children, because obviously these are AI generated images, therefore unless we're talking about the examples where there were real events that have then been created from this, no people are being harmed with directly. Yeah. Of course. Obviously, I'm playing a bit devil's advocate here, just for the point of making a conversation. But how? I
think that's an argument for deep fake, like porn.
True.
When it's adults. I don't think you make that argument with children.
Okay.
Because it's
a child.
Yeah.
Are these child faces real?
Most of the realistic ones are based on real life victims. Okay, so they're real children.
Then we have a problem. Yeah, absolutely.
The fact that AI only pulls, it can only generate something based on stuff it's been fed. So technically nothing that's generated by AI isn't based off of something.
Right.
So,
but it doesn't take exact features, or will it take
it will take exact features.
An entire person's face.
It will take them if that's what's being inputted.
That's the problem. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. It's just awful.
I mean, it's horrible. It's a horrid use of this incredible soft. AI is such an incredible tool for humanity, and it's being twisted into this ridiculous, horrible. It's a perversion. It is almost a perversion of technology, and some of humanity's worst are obviously getting to use it in this way.
Yeah, I think I get what you mean, because I think when I was reading this, my first thought was kind of like, is it slightly better because they're not directly going and abusing these children, and because it's AI generated, it's not that whatever horrible scene is being played in these videos hasn't actually happened to that person.
Yeah.
Is it a slightly better way of, you know, them getting their desires out without actually physically hurting someone? Sure. Obviously, I think it's still fucked.
And if you have those desires, you need help anyway.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have help getting a fix. You should have help not
having
needing.
those desires.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just, I think it's just kind of, you know, the way AI is going. And I don't think I think it's progressing at a faster rate than we can really control it, which is exactly what the other news story is about. The other news story is also about AI.
Of course. God, it's everywhere, isn't it?
I'm going to move on to it because it's slightly funny, whereas that one was just horrible.
Yep.
But this is, I think when I mentioned it to you, you're like, oh yeah, I have heard about it. But you know what grok is?
I am aware of what grok is, yeah.
So if you don't know what grok is, I don't, you're living under a rock, I guess. But grok is like the chat bot on X, not Twitter anymore. I will always call it Twitter.
Sure.
And it's built by Musk and his AI firm XAI.
He's back in the fucking news. Okay.
Yeah, but the chatbot's kind of gone like rogue.
It's got a bit unhinged, and I don't know if the unhingedness is part of its programming or
so this is where it was interesting.
Sabotaged it.
So basically, grok has started it started roundly praising Adolf Hitler and like referring to itself as Mecha Hitler and making a load of anti-Semitic comments in response to user queries.
Oh my god.
And they had to delete a load of inappropriate posts. But in some of the now deleted, by the way, we're laughing because it's just so insane and it's funny, not because Hitler's funny.
It's not funny. It's a horrible thing for things to be posting, but
they still have some, because obviously the deleted posts being screenshotted and shared everywhere.
Of course.
But here's some of them. So it referred to a person with a common Jewish surname as someone who was celebrating the tragic deaths of white kids in the Texas floods and calling them future fascists.
Jesus.
Some other posts include classic case of hate dressed as activism and that surname every damn time, as they say. Hitler would have called it out and crushed it. And my favourite, the white man stands for innovation, grit, and not bending to PC nonsense.
Oh my god, you cannot see my expression, but I am aghast.
So users started pointing out these responses. They deleted some of the posts and they ended up restricting the chatbot to generating images rather than text replies, saying that they were aware of recent posts and were actively working to remove them. XAI is training only truth-seeking, and thanks to the millions of users on X, we were able to quickly identify and update the model where training could be improved. But, oh no, sorry, this was my favourite. So grok was also found this week. So this is the week just gone. So this is the 13th today when we're recording this.
Yeah.
The start of July, basically.
Sure.
He was referring to the Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk as a fucking traitor and a ginger whore in response to queries.
Oh my god.
So these sharp turn responses did come after some changes they made. And all these changes were uploaded to GitHub. And among those changes, grok was told to assume that subjective viewpoints sourced from the media are biased, and the response should not shy away from making claims that are politically incorrect as long as they are well substantiated.
Oh my god.
But this is not the first time that grok's been in the media. He had a bit of a hard time last month.
Yeah.
Because he repeatedly brought up white genocide in South Africa in response to completely unrelated queries. And for those who don't know, white genocide is like a far-right conspiracy theory that is mainstreamed by figures such as Musk.
Yep.
Because he's from South Africa.
He is, he has. That is apartheid money. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but
And then they also responded to a query that more political violence came from the right than the left in 2016. And Musk responded to it saying, major fell as is objectively false. Grok is parroting legacy media working on it. So I think Musk's whole like plan with Grok is to make it so it doesn't, what he says is parrot legacy media, which is just repeat what the like media says.
Sure.
And you know, make sure that it's like not even politically correct.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wild thing, but I just thought it was funny.
It feels like
it just went kind of crazy. And there was like loads of things on X that were like pictures that people had made of them like breaking out like a robot, of like me breaking out woke Grok from Musk's basement or something. It was just like so dumb.
I think that it's the results are funnier than the implication of what the design of Grok is, because it's almost like it's almost deliberately being designed as a
rage beta,
and also someone that just a device that will just reportedly post fake media and untruths and generally spread misinformation more than anything else, and which is in a time where we have so much of that already, I don't think necessary. But of course, when you spread false information, that's how you make divides, and obviously the whole adage of divide and conquer. So yeah, who knows what Musk's plan is, but it's something untoward, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't trust the guy personally, but yeah, that's what I just thought. It's nice technology news before we go into this, because this is about technology.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you've got anything else you want to
add, please don't
sue us.
Sue us for saying our own opinions. These are
we have like £10 on our bank accounts between us. Can you like?
You won't get nothing, please.
Yeah. You'll get us crying on our knees begging you not to sue us.
It's like this is my opinion. I'm sorry, but stop behaving like that, and I'll change my opinion. There you go.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
Anyway. Anyway.
So now I will do more trigger warnings.
Oh, more trigger warnings.
So off the bat, for those who need it, this episode will contain mentions of suicide. That's it. That's the only trigger warning. And unless you consider adultery as a trigger warning.
Well, some people do.
Some people do. Okay, this has lots of adultery in it. So,
okay, yeah.
So today we're going to be talking about one of the most notorious breaches of data in internet history, the Ashley Madison scandal. 37 million users, one catastrophic leak, and a ripple effect that ended careers, marriages, and lives. We're going to be deep diving into the company, those behind it, its users, and the group called the Impact team who hacked it. We're here to answer what happens when a platform designed for secrecy gets exposed to the world.
You've gone into your script reading voice. I want to just point that out. Yeah. Like, you're so natural, and then it's just like almost that immediate, I am reading.
Okay, I'll go fuck myself.
No, it's fine. It's just something else.
I just wanted to give it was a little synopsis I wanted to give, so go fuck yourself.
Wonderfully done. No, it's not a criticism. You have a beautiful reading
Honestly,
voice.
I'm trying to make this podcast professional when you're jamming negativity down my throat, and I'm sick of it.
Whoa. Okay, I'm so sorry. You're so right. Please continue.
But yeah, so I did know about, I think when I said this to you, you said you'd kind of heard of it, but you thought again it was a person.
Mm-hmm.
I knew about this. I can't remember where I first heard about it, but I know about what it was for a while. But I didn't know. I knew that had a data leak, but I didn't know anything past that, and it actually went a lot deeper than I thought it did. But I'm gonna start with just kind of going into what it is, how it kind of grew. If I go into my script voice, I apologize.
Don't apologize. I'm just going to sit back and relax, I think, or a lot of this, because you've covered it. So
I have.
If anything jumps out to me,
interject anytime.
But otherwise, I will sit back and enjoy the ride.
Take a little drink. What are you drinking?
Me, I today on a hot day like this, there's nothing more I enjoy than a delicious glass of lukewarm tap water.
Yeah, that's where I am.
Yeah. But you've got some cordial.
I got some cordial in mine. I got like a little ginger and lemongrass cordial. It's very nice.
Very fancy.
But okay, let's get into it, shall we?
Jump right in.
So in 2002, a man called Darren Morgenstern founded Ashley Madison based on a statistic that 30% of people on dating websites were married. His idea was that there was a space in the market specifically for married people looking to cheat without breaking the foundation that they had built. And he named the website after the two most popular girls' names at the time, Ashley and Madison. Which sucks because for anyone that knows me originally and has watched any of the original podcast episodes, I changed my name, and my original name was Madison.
It was.
Or Maddie, is probably you've heard. So there's a negative connotation around my name that I'm happy not to have anymore.
I was going to say, you dodged that bullet.
I did, yeah. But so his brother, Mark Morgenstern, worked as the creative director of the website and was involved in a lot of the marketing. Now, their early marketing really struggled because the whole concept was kind of crazy to most people. So this was obviously like 2002. Dating websites weren't really a thing. Like, you didn't really have like Tinder or anything like that. And they were just only emerging, and there was a lot of like stigma around people who met others online. It's definitely not like it is now. Like, I've met loads of people online, not just even like dating wise, but like friends and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
Like my best friend, I'm sure she won't mind me saying this, we met on Bumble BFF. Shout out Amy, I love you. Because that is just kind of the way now. Like, we're all chronically online.
Chronically is a good word. Well, this our generation and probably the
definitely the generation below, yeah.
is absolutely chronically online, yeah.
But yeah, so it didn't really kick off at all until the introduction of a man called Noel Biderman or Biderman. I've heard it pronounced both ways. I'm going to go with Biderman just because I think it sounds better. He came in around 2004 and quickly became the CEO and face of the company. Noel was a former Canadian lawyer who had a lot of clients that were married and having affairs and believed he knew the audience of AM better than anyone. And he was right. He knew that married people didn't want to blow up their marriages, thus if they had affairs only with other married people, they would find it safer. And he started to really build AM around this image. The main thought about it at the time was that it was encouraging people to cheat. But his response was that they were just a platform and that no 30-second ad was going to make someone cheat. Which I guess is, I kind of get where he's coming from.
Sure.
So they started releasing adverts that were people messing around in the bedroom, and it would say these two people are married, and you'd be like, oh, okay, that's cute. Maybe this is an advert for like, I don't know, condoms or something.
Sure, yeah.
And then it would flash up, but not to each other.
Oh.
And the tagline for AM at this time became "Life is short, have an affair."
Oh my God.
And it still is.
Oh my God.
And I couldn't find exactly, because they had a different tagline to start with. I think it was like when monogamy becomes monogamous or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it's known for. That tagline is "Life is short, have an affair." So by 2010, AM had about 7 million users, but they still didn't think this was enough, and it was growing very slowly. I will say that. A man called Evan Beck. So I just want to go back and say a lot of this information came from also I did my own research, but mostly came from a documentary on Netflix about it, because they actually interviewed people that worked there and other users and stuff.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I think that's a lot of where
and
it came, like information came from.
What was the name of this documentary? So you can give them
Is it called Ashley Madison?
just called Ashley Madison?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like Sex, Lies and Scandal, I think.
fair enough. Okay.
But yeah, so they interviewed this guy called Evan Beck who worked for AM for 10 years. And he said that they were really struggling to get their ads onto TV because they were like a little bit too racy, you know what I mean? Because all like people running around in their underwear, which now is not like, you don't really bat an eyelid at it anymore.
Yeah, I suppose.
But he also said that the big issue was that their marketing team was like nearly all men and that their advertising was actually quite disrespectful to women because it was very like male gaze, I think.
Sure.
And that they were basically only really appealing to men who wanted to get laid. And that the public image of AM was just sex.
Right. Yeah.
So all it was just you sign up to sleep with other people.
Well, it kind of feels like that's what it was designed for. But
I mean, yeah. So Noel really started putting himself out there, doing a lot of TV interviews to drive across the point that affairs are actually therapeutic and a preservation for marriages. His argument was that you love your spouse, you don't want to break up your marriage, but if you're not being fulfilled physically, you can get satisfied elsewhere, and then you can continue loving your spouse without resenting them.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't. I can't. You will grow to hate this man if you don't already.
I was going to say, I'm already not convinced, but yeah, sure. All right, Noel. What else you got?
So a big thing was that this company was really struggling to get women onto the site, which really does go back to like the disrespectful ads and stuff, which is really bad for them because a lot of their marketing was saying that like, oh, we have so many women on our site, and obviously this site does not work if there are no women on it, because it was mostly heterosexual.
Sure.
So one of the things that happened was that they really started changing their advertising to appeal like more to women. And then they also allowed women to sign up for free. So the core of AM is that you message people to connect, like however every other dating app works. But you had to pay, or at least men had to pay for credits that allowed you to talk and interact with other people. Right. So you'd get like so much you could do, and then you had to pay to be able to do more.
Right.
And in 2012, they started growing more and they started launching in other countries. So it was in countries like, we had it in the UK, India, South Africa. A lot of, I think their advertising in those countries leaned very heavily on your parents chose your marriage. Yeah. Now you have a choice.
Arranged marriages, yeah.
Yeah.
Enough. Okay.
And then by 2015, AM had around 37 million users.
Jesus.
Now, at this time, former employees have stated that conversations about security had repeatedly come up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you have to remember that the people who are using this website give their name, their location, credit card details, email addresses, but also when you sign up, you give sensitive information about your sexual desires, basically, like what you want.
Yeah.
But the employee said that like kind of every time security was mentioned, it was put straight on the back burner, and that all the things that were given more time and thought to were marketing, PR, how to put a spin on anything that came up that was negative. And that they said that the guarantee of safety that AM advertised was basically just something they said, and that truthfully they had very little security and were just gambling with people's lives hoping they wouldn't be hacked.
Oh dear. So basically the password to the server was password 1.
Yeah, well, like 1, 2, 3, 4, probably.
Yeah, basically. Okay. Yeah, not ideal.
Yeah. No, that's an important thing because obviously about what happened, but...
Okay.
So before I get into introducing some of the key characters in this story, not that it's a story, it's like real people, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
I kind of just want to touch on the morality of the website within itself because it's kind of interesting to me. So you've also got people like Noel, who's doing interviews defending the service. He actually started interviewing alongside his wife, and like they would talk about how great their marriage is and that they were monogamous. Like they just them two, but their kind of like thing was that not everyone's marriage can be as perfect as theirs.
Right.
So that like they were kind of under the idea that if you can't achieve their perfect marriage, then affairs are good. They're a good thing. And then even like in one of the interviews, his wife was literally asked, so like, what would you do if he cheated on you? And she'd be like, oh, I'd be devastated. Yeah, I know.
It's so hypocritical already. This is
so bad.
Oh my God.
Even within amongst the employees, there was some really mixed feelings about what this website was.
Well, yeah.
So there was one woman called Kathy.
Hang on. Sorry, just to interrupt you, just what I thought of it. This website was launched in America.
Yes.
Doesn't America have really massively traditional Christian values and about the sanctity of marriage? Isn't that
Yes,
one of the big things
that's
in the
why
Bible?
the press around them was so negative.
I was going to say.
Obviously, people are still signing up for it in secret.
But that's fucking insane.
Yeah. The fact that it got so popular is kind of... I think Noel's a very smart man.
He must be, but he's also a fucking sociopath. Sorry, anyway.
There is a sociopath in here, but it's not him.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Well, at least I think they are. But yeah, anyway, so this woman called Kathy, she worked for AM for 4.5 years as a customer service representative. She said she's 100% monogamous, but didn't judge others for what they wanted.
Fine.
And that's how she felt like she could work there. But it was something she said that I thought was just awful. She basically said that she had a lot of wives that would call up the company and say, hey, like there's this charge on a card that I don't recognise. And the customer service would say, unfortunately, because it's not your name on the card, we can't discuss it.
Right.
Which is fair. It's a privacy thing, yeah. But she said there a lot of wives would then call back with their husbands.
Right.
So because obviously it would be their name on the card.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like taught to say, okay, well, we're a generalized billing website across multiple websites. Because this was all owned by Avid Life Media.
Right.
So they had a couple of other things. And then, so they'd say, yeah, like we're a generalized billing website. We're actually unsure of where this specific charge is tied to, but we are happy to reverse the charge so you don't have to worry about it. And they'd just reverse the charge and then encourage the person to sign up with a different credit card. Mm-hmm. She said she felt like she saved a lot of marriages that way.
Fair enough.
I think that's awful.
It's
just lying. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, I think this whole thing is horrible, but I do want to look at the other side of it and why I think AM works for some people.
Interesting.
And I'm going to do that through the story of Rob and Stephanie. So Rob is introduced as someone who's interested in dating younger married women. He loves his wife, happy with her, but just simply wants to spice up his sex life. Stephanie is introduced saying that marriage is hard work and people can start taking each other for granted, which I do think is true. She identifies as a sexual person and admits that she has cheated on all of her partners before because they weren't giving her sex when she wanted it or enough attention. When AM was released, they both thought it was a great idea as they were both happily married but wanted more sexual and mental fulfillment. Now, this is why I'm putting it on the positive side. Stay with me because I know right now you're probably thinking these two are awful people.
Not necessarily. Polyamory is perfectly
but you're
way.
assuming that they are in an open relationship.
At the moment, yes. Well, you've said they're both happily married, but anyway, yes.
Yeah, but that's not saying that their partner knows that they're going off.
But you said they both signed up, or they both liked the idea of it.
Yeah.
So they both knew about it?
You're assuming that they're together.
I was, yes.
These might be two completely separate people.
Oh, are these two completely separate people?
No, they are married.
Don't do this to me, come on.
Because the thing is, in the documentary, they're introduced separately. So I was like, oh my God, this is not like...
Right. So
this feels wrong.
I just put it together.
And then it's revealed that they are married to each other. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, sorry. I'm so sorry I jumped the gun there. Please continue.
Well, you were right, but yeah. So yeah, they are actually married to each other. And this is why I think it works. So Stephanie is actually a dominatrix, but Rob's really not into that stuff. Just, I don't know, it makes him uncomfortable, whatever. But there's also stuff that he wants that she can't give him. They did state neither one of them gets jealous because they know that they're each other's and will always come back to one another. Absolutely nothing against this. If that kind of stuff works for you, all the power to you.
Sure.
I do not care.
Yeah.
If it doesn't affect me, I do not care.
Yeah, no judgment at all.
But I think the reason why this works in the context of AM not being a horribly immoral site is because these two are open about it. They're open to expressing their sexual needs whilst maintaining respect and not pushing each other's boundaries. Open relationships. So they said it themselves. They always know where the other one is and with who. Rob always wears a condom. And if one of them says no, it's a no. And they just don't meet with someone else.
Cool. Okay, they sound like healthy ground rules.
And they say, and this is kind of my argument as well, the issue with cheating is the betrayal of trust and the breaking of sanctity between two people. And that's why I think AM works for them, because their idea of cheating is different to, say, me and you, because we're monogamous.
Sure.
It's different to people who aren't open like them, because in a monogamous relationship is then one person sneaking around the other's back, and that's how that trust is broken. That's how that sanctity is broken, because you're lying to the other person, whereas they're completely open.
So they have that open sort of,
That's my argument to why it's good. Other than that, horrible.
Okay, yeah, but that's the thing. If it was marketed towards that sort of more, this is for people who want to be in an open relationship and seeking partners like that, makes it more moral. But the fact that
it's specifically marketed towards having an affair,
which is an illicit, not good thing, basically. I'm not my words aren't wording today.
I know what you mean though. Now there's a couple more people I'm going to introduce that we will come back to later, but there's this one woman called Christy whose husband was a professor at a seminary, and she herself worked on staff at a church in a close-knit community. She met her husband when she was 23, when she was visiting friends, and they had started writing letters to each other. I couldn't remember what year she said they met, but it was like before emails or anything like that. I think that's actually really cute. I think letter writing is such a sweet thing.
Yeah, I know.
But they were married when she was 24. That's all I'm gonna tell you about her at the moment, but I want you to keep her in mind.
It's a secret tool for us using later, or whatever the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse thing was.
Never seen it.
No, okay. Some people will get that reference, even though I absolutely demolished it.
But one of the main couples, or the main couple they interviewed for this documentary, is actually a famous couple. I mean, famous in the way like YouTube famous. And their names are Sam and Nia Rader. So Sam and Nia married young and were from all accounts completely in love with each other. Sam said that he had always been obsessed with love portrayed in romantic movies, and when he met Nia, he thought he had found that. Nia said that she had always been excited to find a man that would be her soulmate, and that when she met Sam, he ticked all of her boxes, especially because he was a Christian and had really strong morals. We'll come back to that.
Those two things don't go hand in hand.
I can't lie, I just slowly hate this man more and more. You'll see why, but I think he's awful. But it basically started when Nia got pregnant quite early in the marriage, and Sam felt like there was suddenly a lot of responsibility he just wasn't ready for, and that his life just was no longer as exciting as he thought it would be. Yeah, it gets worse. So at the time, he worked as an ER nurse, and during a night shift, he saw an advertisement for AM and signed up with all his real information and photos. Rookie error. He said that he would hide the app on his phone in a folder full of junk so that if Nia did go on his phone, she'd be unlikely to click on it. He said that he was sexually satisfied in his marriage and he wasn't sure what he was looking for, but found that AM was a way for him to find women that were attracted to him so he could basically just suck up their validation. Then randomly, at the time Frozen came out, you remember that film?
Oh my God, yeah.
They made a video on YouTube of them lip syncing one of the songs, like the Love is the Open Door one.
Oh my God.
It went really viral, and that's how they became like YouTube famous.
Sure.
And they started vlogging from it. And Sam said this brought back that excitement to his life that he'd been missing, and all his desires of infidelity just stopped, and he deleted his AM account and just hoped to take it to his grave.
I don't think that worked.
I didn't think that worked either. So that's just like a little introduction to AM, what it was, what the idea of it was, and then a couple of people. Then it got hacked. So on July 13th, 2015, employees entered the office as normal, but were told not to touch their computers. And like every employee was like, yeah, the vibe was so weird. Like it was kind of like, so at my old job, I remember turning up one day and the vibe was really off. And we came in and we were all immediately ushered into a meeting room and everything kind of like weirdly looked in disarray. And it turns out we'd been robbed.
God.
Like these two guys, it was like 2 or 3 guys had broken in through the fire escape, which security in this building, I'm going to say, is terrible because there's CCTV footage of it that we all watched, and they literally just yanked really hard on the door and it opened.
Oh my God.
But yeah, they stole like a load of laptops that we never really got back. But yeah, anyway, fun little bit of lore. But yeah, so basically when employees turned on their computers, like this rock music would start playing, and there was a message on every screen. Now I couldn't find the whole message. I don't think the whole message is out there, but this was what was some of it. So it references EM, which is I can't remember it, but it's another website that they owned that had kind of people accused of like sex trafficking and stuff.
Oh.
I think it was mostly to do with it was something man, and it was like rich men looking for
okay.
you know,
Sure.
sugar baby or something, I don't know.
Whatever. One of those ones.
Yeah. But this is what the message said. AM and EM must shut down immediately, permanently. We are the Impact team. We have taken over all systems in your entire office and production domains, all customer information databases, source code repositories, financial records, emails. Shutting down AM and EM will cost you, but non-compliance will cost you more. We will release all customer records, profiles with all the customers' secret sexual fantasies, nude pictures, and conversations, and matching credit card transactions, real names and addresses, and employee documents and emails.
Damn.
Avid Life Media will be liable for fraud and extreme harm to millions of users.
Okay.
Trevor, ALM's CTO, once said, protection of personal information was his biggest critical success factor, and I would hate to see our systems hacked and or the leak of personal information. Well, Trevor, welcome to your worst fucking nightmare.
That's brilliantly delivered. Well done.
It does go on, but I couldn't find the
No, but that's
whole thing.
Okay, slight point on that then. Because they said they would release like the nude images, doesn't that then make them guilty of like distributing pornography illegally? Something like that?
The whole thing's a crime.
The whole thing, well,
The
hacking
whole-
is
yeah.
a crime, yeah, but still,
I don't know if they actually released nude pictures.
no.
I think it was just a threat.
That's just a point that I thought of. But yeah, I
But yeah,
suppose hacking is a
would,
crime.
It
but
would make
still.
them. I don't know actually, because at the time, non-consensual image abuse wasn't.
Oh,
It was not against the law. So maybe recently it's become against
it?
the law. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because I was looking it up the other day.
okay. Oh, there you go.
Because it became a thing about revenge porn and stuff.
Sure.
Didn't it?
Anyway, sorry. Yes.
No, you're fine. But yeah, it would put them in. I mean, the whole thing
More
put them in criminal trouble.
Yeah, but the Impact team.
Yeah. But the hackers gave the company 30 days to shut down.
Generous.
So all this this was only internal. Like this was just on employee computers. Now at the time, Noel was planning on taking AM to the stock market, which I don't really know what that means. Financial stuff, I guess.
I think that means that they were a private company that becomes public, I think. So they open up their shares, something like that.
It's
Yeah.
a big thing, though. I know
Yeah,
that. So he wanted to handle everything in-house. No media, no police, no letting customers know. So they actually brought in a specialist team that included, I think he said Joel. They're Swedish. Joel Eriksson and Andre Katri. I'm so sorry if I pronounced any of this wrong. I should have written it down phonetically and I didn't. But Joel does a lot of national cybersecurity and is apparently considered one of the best hackers in the world.
Okay.
Or at least top 10 is what Andre said. He's friends with Andre and met him when Andre was working for the Swedish security services, who had suspected Joel of a computer breach. So I think it's one of those things where it's like you hire them so they
So
don't.
that you add them to your arsenal so that they can't be used against you, basically.
Yeah. So they decided to fly together to America and were given the task of finding and securing the breach data. They said when they first arrived, they actually had quite a few issues because AM had started wiping their hard drives, supposedly so they could protect their servers. But it's actually really hard to then work with data if your hard drives are wiped.
Yeah.
So they were like, please stop doing that. After a few days, they did actually find someone that had connected to AM's servers using software as if they were an employee, with a specific version that had only been used by a previous contractor who did not work for AM at the time they had connected.
Okay, right, yeah.
So they were trying to order this in-house. However, after a few days, the Impact team released their statement to the public.
Okay.
And the media just like picked it up instantly.
Of course
and it was,
they
like,
would.
huge.
Yeah. They're not going to let it be private. Yeah, of course.
So they were like, they couldn't hide it anymore. And Kathy was saying they started getting hundreds of calls a day from worried customers, obviously. Police picked up on it and got involved because obviously it's a crime.
Mm-hmm.
And they went to AM and said, like, look, you're going to have to cooperate with us. This is what we're going to like need. But they always felt like they weren't sharing everything with them.
Obviously.
For example, this is wild to me. So they knew that AM had identified a suspect, which was the contractor. But it wasn't until later on they found that AM had tried to take matters into their own hands. So Joel had been sent to have a meeting with this contractor. And he just said they spoke over coffee, like said that this contractor was really nervous, but adamant the whole time that he was not involved with the hack. Even when they offered him like loads of money, they offered him enough money to like pay off his mortgage and everything.
Wow.
He didn't take it. He was like, no, I was not involved in this. The police did eventually also interview this contractor, but by that time he was like lawyered up and like still denying his involvement.
Sure.
I think it gets a little bit like difficult for then like in court because he's had the offer of payment.
Yeah.
So they just had like let him go basically. They then started interviewing other employees who might have been linked to the leak. But at this point it was just like a waiting game. Like Noel didn't want to give out the company because it was worth millions of dollars.
Of course, yeah.
So they kind of just hoped that it was all a joke and that the Impact team wouldn't go through with it, I guess.
That's a really bad idea. Okay.
However, on the 18th of August 2015, a 10 gig archive of user data was dumped on the dark web by the Impact team.
Of course.
This data was then taken by people and put on the wider web, with many websites being created where you could search for an email and see if your partner was on the list. One Australian radio station even took it one step further, where people would call in while on live air and they would check the list for you.
Oh my God. That's so Aussie though.
Yeah, there was literally like in the documentary, there was like an excerpt of it and it was like this woman ringing up and they're like, yeah, he's on this list. And she's like, are you fucking serious?
Are you fucking serious?
But there was actually a lot of celebrities and other high profile people that were found to have used the site. I think there was like a senator on there, obviously.
Yeah, makes sense.
A few like celebrities. But it kind of became a national security issue at one point because there was a lot of government and military members on there who had used their military and government emails.
Oh, no.
So those were obviously now out in the public.
Yeah, of course.
Not a good idea.
Not good.
Do you think they all just got sat down afterwards and was like, just a kind reminder of security.
Do not use
your
work email.
Like, hello.
Yeah. Well, obviously that's because they obviously didn't want their personal email to be tied to it because then
so they just thought they'd like have a national security breach instead.
Yeah, instead. Yeah, of course. Not just make another email address or something.
Yeah, I know. Stupid. Well, this had huge impacts, obviously. It destroyed a lot of marriages.
Yep.
But I'm going to go back to the people I introduced earlier. So Christy, when the news came out about AM, so she was the one who was married young with the letters and stuff.
Yep.
It actually did cross her mind that her husband might be on the list. They were in their like, I want to say like 60s by this point.
Wow.
Because she said she kind of gaslit herself through the relationship that there weren't things going on, even though she had literally found letters from other people to her husband that hinted at inappropriate relationships. She tried searching for his name, but said it was difficult and there was lots of hoops to go through. So I assume she looked when it was still only on the dark web.
Possibly, yeah.
And then she kind of stopped looking because she kind of realised, like, if I do find him, I'm not going to do anything about it. So she kind of just let it go.
Sure.
However, after the list became more public, she said she went to work like normal one day, came home, her friend stopped her to talk to her in the driveway, and her friend kind of said, oh, it sounds like there's a phone ringing in your house. So she went inside looking for her husband and couldn't find him until she got to the garage and realised that the noise her friend had thought was a phone was actually the carbon monoxide alarm. She found her husband's lifeless body in the garage where he had taken his life earlier in the day.
Oh my God.
When her friends came to her house, one sat her down and said, "We need to tell you about what happened today." In that morning, her husband had been called to a meeting with his bosses, who told him his name had been on the AM list and they would need his resignation. Because you remember, he's a professor at a seminary, so that's a school that trains people going into the ministry.
Of course, yeah.
And he was from, I think she said, 3 generations of pastors.
Not making a spaghetti joke, but please continue.
So that was a very short story, but that was hers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the only information I could find, there's only been 2 confirmed cases of people taking their lives as a result of the leak.
Right.
But I imagine it's probably a lot more.
Yeah.
37 million users is probably
You're
going to
have a few more of those.
I think it just wouldn't be reported because A, you can't really prove that it's direct to the leak, and also B, in countries where suicide is it's really not accepted, is it? It's like considered a massive sin.
That's true. Yeah.
But yeah, that's rough.
It's very rough.
Sam and Nia, though, so they were actually on the way to a vlogger convention when Sam saw someone tweet that his name was on the list. And he knew that he had to tell Nia before she read it elsewhere.
Sure.
So he sat her down at the airport before their flight and was like, "I did this, I had an account, but I never had an affair. I never met up with anyone or slept with anyone. It was basically just a stupid mistake." She was furious, obviously.
Understandably.
But had basically forgiven him by the time their flight landed. And she just wanted to move on. And I'm like, that's nuts. She's better than me because I would not.
Oh, yeah. No, fair enough.
God, I hate him so much. Because they then ended up making this video on YouTube when it became really public that he was on that list, because he's very much, his image as a Christian man.
Yeah.
So they made a video.
Did they do an apology video?
Yeah, basically.
Of course they did, yeah.
Because loads of articles have picked it up and written about him. So in this video, he talks about how his wife knows and has forgiven him, and that he sought forgiveness from God and God had forgiven him, so he'd been completely cleansed of the sin. He also reiterated that he'd never met anyone face to face on that website and never had an affair. Nia does appear in this video with him, saying she has forgiven him and that marriage is sacred and something always worth fighting for. Now, I can see the forgiveness and fighting for that marriage if any of what Sam had said had been true.
Oh, no.
However,
has he been a lying
it was
bastard?
all bullshit, and it was worse than AM, and it started before AM.
Oh, shit.
He finally did admit to Nia that he'd been cheating on her for years. Massage parlours, strip clubs, anywhere he could get sex outside the marriage. He then even flirted with people they knew. He was having 2 emotional relationships with some of their friends, and had even come on to someone who was really close to Nia and eventually removed themselves from her life because of it.
Again, I am aghast.
Yeah, your mouth is wide open.
Wow.
So Sam ended up moving out to give Nia space, because she was just like, "You're like every man I've tried to avoid my whole life." She was just understanding, so broken. He'd been betraying her for years, and she'd lost one of her closest friends because of him.
Absolutely. Poor girl.
Yep. I hate that dude.
Yeah.
Now, this is all awful, but I'm afraid it does get worse.
Worse? Oh, no.
So, like I said at the start, when I started looking into this, I knew about the scandal and the user information being leaked, but I didn't know about the second bit that happened. So there was actually another data dump, and this time it was 20 gig, and it was all of the company's documents.
Oh my God.
Including the whole of Noel's email inbox going back years.
Oh no. Oh, Noel's been exposed.
So this is the other stuff that was going on that I didn't know about.
Sure.
So at this point, Noel had apparently just stopped turning up at the office.
No shit.
And I think it was around that time. I think it was only a couple of weeks later he left AM, because a lot of information eventually came out, and yeah, I'm not surprised he left. So At this point, the police had held a press conference stating that the impact team had committed crime and would be prosecuted, and that AM was actually offering $500,000 as a reward for any information that would lead to their arrest. But there was no leads, there was no evidence, there was nothing. Joel and Andre were let go at this point, so they never actually found anything digitally either. They were just, because they were like, we don't need your services anymore, because it's obviously like all come out.
It's all out, yeah.
So at this point, journalists started poring over the dump data that ended up revealing just how corrupt the company was. So one journalist called Joshua Cox was trying to get into contact with the hackers because he was particularly interested about this group, because typically hackers steal information then sell it like subtly in the shadows.
Yeah, of course. That's how they fund themselves, I guess. Yeah.
But the impact team were very public.
They've just gone, here's the fucking data.
And they weren't doing it for monetary reasons at all.
No, at all.
He actually did manage to get in contact with them via email, and they answered some of the questions for him. He asked, when did you start hacking them? They said, a long time ago.
Wow.
He's asked, what were your motivations for the hack? They said, we saw their growth, 37 million users. We did it to stop the next 60 million. Avid Life Media is like a drug dealer abusing addicts. He asked, what did you think about Noel's reaction? Not very surprised they didn't shut down. They make 100 million in fraud a year. So it was this point that Josh was like, okay. So he started like going through the second data dump and looking at all their corporate records. He found, again, like I said, very much the employees are backed up. Security was really a second thought.
Sure.
And actually their trusted security medal that was on their website was fake. Somebody had basically just made it in Photoshop.
Oh my God.
Another thing that came up was that AM offered this service where if you paid a fee, which was about $19, they would completely wipe your account and delete your data. Emails in this dump, they revealed that AM wasn't actually deleting the data.
Oh my God.
Then, information was revealed that actually a lot of the female users on the platform were fake profiles.
They're using bots.
A lot of the profiles were coming from the same IP address, which was at the AM office, revealing that many men using the site were in fact talking to AM employees or bots.
Oh my God.
This was backed up by some former employees who admitted that they were sometimes given profiles to fill out and make attractive to men, and that bots were being used for men who were recognised as too shy to send the first message, prompting them to respond and in turn spend money.
Wow.
Then came the reveal of Noel Biederman himself. The man whose public image was built on monogamous marriage and being a family man. His emails revealed that he'd been having multiple affairs with multiple women for years, and revealed he was particularly interested in 18 to 19-year-old girls and had contacted a lot of escort companies. He was about 44 at the time, by the way.
Yeah, but I mean, any age, that's a bit fucked.
Oh, I feel like 20, I think it's...
Well,
yeah.
But he's not going to be. I mean, yeah, married, that's just... Oh, Noel, you've been a naughty boy, haven't you?
Naughty boy.
Noel's a very naughty boy.
So... There was all that extra stuff with the bots and things like that I didn't know what was going on, and it leaves a lot of questions still. So, although not public information, because I couldn't find anything, it is likely that the investigation surrounding the case is still ongoing, because as of today, the impact team has never been identified.
Good for them. Well done.
There are a few theories. So the police don't really believe that the impact team is it might have actually been one person, because there was such a large reward available, like the $500,000. Typically an individual would break away from a group if that was up for grabs.
Sure.
But no one ever came forward.
Yeah, if it was a group, it would be a small group.
Even in small groups, it's likely that one will break away. It's a psychological thing.
I suppose, but still depending on... I mean, I think giving it time... I think if we give it time, someone might come forward, but...
I mean, it's been 10 years. I don't think anyone will ever come forward. They'd be put in prison for life.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You don't want that.
No.
Andre believes that to this day that it was an insider, because he said it became really personal against Noel, especially the email dumps.
Yeah.
And that in the Impact team's statements, because they made a couple more, they named a lot of higher-ups that he believes would have only been named by someone familiar with the company.
Okay.
And I think that is kind of the main theory, is that it was someone who worked there.
Right.
But yeah, no one's ever been identified. No one's ever been...
Convicted or...
No,
yeah.
they don't know who did it.
Damn.
But then I was interested. So I went and looked up where all these people were now.
Sure.
Or like the main ones.
Mm.
So Noel Biederman, he's currently the CEO of Avenue Insight, which is a Toronto-based software company that helps small to mid-sized organizations improve data collection. It appears that he's still married to his wife, who as far as I believe, found out about all his affairs at the same time as the public, who stood by him throughout the controversy. In a statement by his lawyer, he said, Mr. Biederman was also the victim of a crime, like the customers of Ashley Madison, whose public information was hacked and publicised. While Mr. Biederman understands the differences between himself and those customers, he, like many of them have in the intervening years, attempted to move on and repair the damage to his life and relationships. He feels fortunate that his wife Amanda has stood by him throughout.
I think his wife probably already knew. If she was stood by him after finding out at that point, they must have had some sort of arrangement or something.
I don't know. Because if you think at that point they'd been married for so long, very public image, have children together, maybe it's just worse.
Worse for her?
She's South African as well, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know what their values are with.
I'm not sure. But
She's
I mean,
white South African though.
I suppose there's a lot of different theories you could probably put towards it. I mean, maybe it's the fact that there wasn't a good prenup, so she wouldn't have got much
Wouldn't
if they
got
had
anything, yeah.
divorced.
Maybe.
So, but
Maybe
yeah.
she just really, really loves him.
Or maybe she just loves him and we can
I mean, I
live
would
in a world
broken his neck personally, but that's me.
Okay.
Anyway,
Anyway.
Darren Morgenstern, who was the founder, who I think I mentioned him right at the beginning, and he played no part in
He
it
just
whatsoever.
kind of like, this is my idea, someone else do it.
Well, yeah, I think he left AM pretty early on because he kind of said that the thing he was good at and enjoyed was coming up with the ideas, but he didn't actually really enjoy the day-to-day kind of thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
So in 2016, he transitioned to spearheading a business incubator focused on investing in health and wellness startups and providing nutrition counselling services. In 2019, Global News reported that Morgenstern was a director of a fitness company called Weight Loss Grants, but accused the company of cheating clients out of money, and that the company revealed clients' personal information without consent. Sound familiar?
Oh no.
That was pretty much the only article I could find on him. He doesn't have a large public presence.
No.
There are very few details available about him, no social media accounts, and hasn't appeared in any recent news.
Not surprising. If he had any of that, he's probably scrubbed it all. But
yeah, I guess because he didn't really have. He kind of came up with the idea and was like, all right, bye.
yeah, but also it sounds like he has tried to improve his image almost and be like, I'm going to do good things, and also then still committed fraud.
Maybe we don't know. Again, there's like no information on him.
This is speculation. We're not damning anyone.
Sam and Nia.
Oh, yes.
Sam and Nia are still together.
Oh.
They've undergone marriage counselling. I find them really weird, to be honest. I went and actually looked up their YouTube channel, and I kind of believe that they only stayed together because they didn't want to lose the money they were making. Because their whole image, like their whole brand, is happy family.
Yeah.
Like, they have kids and stuff.
I feel like you've shown me.
I've never shown you a video.
Have you not shown me these guys?
You might have seen a video of them because they were quite popular at one point. They're not their videos don't get as many views anymore.
I mean, it's not my kind of YouTube anyway, but I feel
it's like vlogging stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
But I got really narcissistic, sociopathic vibes from Sam.
Okay.
Maybe not. I don't know about sociopathic, but definitely narcissistic. Like his whole thing was sucking up validation, and the only reason he stopped cheating, and I'm doing this in air quotes, is because he got the excitement from the vlogging.
Yeah.
That was when he started like spending time with the family again, was if there was a camera in his hand.
Yeah, he was famous and he got to have that enjoyment. Yeah.
I would utterly not be surprised if he was still cheating on her.
Right.
I think he's a terrible I think she's mental for staying with him though. Like, I think she's... So there's really mixed theories when I was like looking this up online. A lot of people think it's just because she's stuck.
Okay.
And a lot of people think she's just as bad as him.
Right. Okay.
Because she does kind of, I don't know, like... In the documentary, she comes across as very much like victim hurt, trying to be the better person. But then they made YouTube videos about the fact they were going to be in that Netflix documentary, and then like did like a reaction video. And she's like almost giddy in it.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe she does also just like the attention.
They do have a very strange dynamic. And it is like, it's... Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know, like watching their videos. I feel for their kids because their kids have been on like YouTube their whole lives.
Yeah. Which I don't think is right.
No, I don't either.
But
there was a whole other documentary we covered about that. It was the TikTok dancing one, wasn't it? That was kids.
Yes, I remember. No, I think that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
That was more to do with religion though.
That's true.
That was like, it's a cult. Well, they say it's not a cult.
They say it's not a cult. So we can't say one way or the other. Yeah. It's hard to say, I think, when you've got a situation like that, because clearly he's awful. But if there's something keeping them together, it might just...
I think it's money.
We can live in a world where it's just love, and that's what it is that's keeping them together.
Yeah, we'd all be lying to ourselves.
But more likely it's...
Love is not enough to keep a relationship together.
Not when it's that broken.
I don't think it's enough to keep any relationship together.
No, it's true. It takes
you have to have other things. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah, I might make you watch clips of him from the documentary because he definitely comes off at least narcissistic, but a lot of the comments were like, yeah, he kind of gives like sociopathic, because all the times he was like, oh, I can't believe I've done it. Well, like crocodile tears.
Yeah.
It felt that way. I did not feel like that man had a shred of empathy.
Yikes.
Yeah. The fact that he was just happily like going to massage parlors and strip clubs and just like fucking a load of other people.
Yeah.
And coming home to his wife and like be like, yeah, I can take this secret to my grave. He literally wasn't going to tell her.
He was not.
Until someone was like, Sam Raider's name is on that list. And he's like, oh shit, I'm going to have to tell her.
Right.
How can I control this? How can I control the optics of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, how can I control this information? Okay, right. There's no evidence of me doing this and this. I'm on this site, but can cover everything else up.
Yeah. Oh, I never actually met someone. Which, as soon as he said that, I did find it really weird because right at the start of that documentary, he said he contacted everyone in his area, and then said, he was really surprised when one of them came back to him, was like, yeah, let's meet up. And I think he said he like went to a park to meet them. So he like contradicted himself within the documentary. It was really weird.
Okay. Yeah.
So as soon as he was like, oh, I'm just looking at that video, like the apology one, like. And I knew it was phony. I was like, yeah, I'm not surprised.
The problem with liars is once they start lying, they can't stop.
Yep. And then when one falls, they all fall.
They all fall down.
Yeah. House of cards, baby.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So that is Ashley Madison. You'll be excited to know that Ashley Madison still exists.
I don't know if excited is the word there, but surprised, absolutely.
I think it's got about 70 million users at the moment.
So it's grown.
Yeah.
It's grown from Jesus.
They've had a rebrand.
Well, obviously, they have to.
Yeah. I think their tagline is still life is short, have an affair.
Not a good tagline.
But I think their rebrand is more that it's like not just marry people now. It's like other people in relationships and stuff.
Again, if they pivoted towards polyamory...
Let me look it up.
Like actual allowed open relationships, then that seems like it's more morally justified. But then again, morally justified things don't tend to make a lot of money. So we have a slight problem.
Yeah, it's still life is short, have an affair. That was the photo they used in the documentary, actually.
I can't believe you got that up on your phone so quickly. Have you been looking up that before?
Yeah, because I looked it up to... Well, yeah, all my Google searches are Ashley Madison scandal, Ashley Madison.
Oh my God, have you been using Ashley Madison?
Do you want me to make an account?
Please no. Please no.
It's their website says millions of people just like you are looking for a discreet connection. Married, attached, looking to explore, or just curious to discover what's out there. Ashley Madison is the leading discreet, like-minded dating community in the world when monogamy becomes monotony. Oh God. students, married people, singles, office workers, tradespeople, entrepreneurs, retirees, and everyone in between. So yeah, you don't have to be in an attachment to sign up anymore.
They've had to open it up, yeah. God.
I like how there's a bit about our story, but it doesn't include them getting hacked.
Yeah, interesting that, isn't it? Well,
Funnily enough, they don't have that little badge on there anymore about security.
yeah.
What does their privacy say?
God.
We will never sell your personal data to third parties.
Again.
Can't guarantee it won't get hacked though. We are committed to the protection of personal data
Now.
and the transparency of privacy practices. I imagine they have.
They've had to actually, employ proper security protocols.
Yeah, this is very it goes on and on and on, but it's very basic privacy policy.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I imagine they have to actually have one now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Nuts.
But they still exist.
Well, they still exist. I think it's awful. It's kind of weird because it's like
So it says 70 million people. Is that 70 million active users or just
it just
people
says over 70 million like-minded members.
Right, so
in
that's
45 different countries.
and that just means that 70 million people have signed up for it and have in their data banks.
Well, to be fair, it does say more than 8 million sign-ups since 2002. So I imagine the 70 million might be active.
Oh my god, that's much worse.
I don't know if Wikipedia says anything. God, is it
Wikipedia.
right? These are the countries it's available in. Quick list. It's not quick.
A quick, here we go.
So it's given them available in languages, but this is also where it's available country-wise.
Sure.
Chinese, Czech, Danish, Dutch, English, Finnish, French, German, Greek, Hungarian, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Norwegian, Polish, Portuguese, Romanian, Russian, Slovak, Spanish, Swedish, Tagalog, Turkish, and Ukrainian.
Well, they've expanded from the USA.
Yep.
We can say that. That's a shame, though. I mean, I suppose they found a market. It's not a good market, but they found a market and they are advertising towards it. I do get that thing of like, oh, we're not responsible for this. We're just providing the platform. But I think that's a weak excuse, if I'm honest. What have you found?
A 2023 study found that many Ashley Madison users reported sexual dissatisfaction in their primary relationship. Some of those users had affairs, and those who did reported high satisfaction and low regret with their decision. Those users reported still maintaining high levels of love and intimacy with their primary partners or spouses.
Okay.
Which, I get.
Fine.
But your partner don't fucking know.
Yeah, and that's, the breaking
Awful.
of trust.
If I ever found out that you had, I messaged you and I was like, I've got a new fear unlocked now after watching this.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm worried I'm going to find you on Ashley Madison. And you were like, who's that?
Literally was that, what is this? I thought this was like you're talking about an old boss or something. Because that was also something I remember you mentioning was like, oh, I found my old boss on this. And it's like, okay, you don't want them to message me?
I found my old boss.
Well, you're talking about someone you used to either work for or like was head of a department or something. And then like you thought they were working at my company. I thought something like that.
No.
And well, that was
That must have been your other girlfriend, babes.
No.
No.
I'm just saying that was where my mind went when you sent me that message. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And then you said, no, Ashley Madison is this thing. I was like, oh, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
I don't remember.
You definitely told me about this.
Oh, okay. I don't remember. I showed you a video once of this woman who found her professor on Tinder or something. No?
Don't remember that.
Okay.
Maybe that was your other boyfriend.
Yeah, maybe.
There you go. Anyway, right. So that was Ashley Madison.
That was Ashley Madison.
And now we're moving on to a
little psychology bit.
I've
done the psychology of cheating before. We did it on
a different one.
The one where he killed his wife and kids.
Go listen to the one where he killed his wife and kids. For
the Watts family.
That's it.
Yeah.
For an in-depth look on the psychology of cheating.
So I thought I'd look in. This isn't really psychology. This is more sociology.
Okay.
Or kind of socio-psychology is what they call it.
Right.
Because it's kind of a mix of both. But yeah, I didn't really know how to start with this because I was like, there isn't really psychology behind hackers because we don't have any. There is literally nothing.
Oh, really? Well, I suppose they don't. It's hard to study someone who's trying to remain anonymous.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But there is some things. So, starting with cyber attackers as a whole, they generally have 4 main reasons why they engage in cyber attacks.
I'm going to bet revenge is one of them.
Revenge is one of them.
Hell yeah.
Financial gain. So things like ransomware attacks where they lock users out of their systems until they pay money.
Yep.
Power and control. Manipulating systems or data to gain a sense of power. Ideology or belief. So a really good example of this is the group Anonymous, who carry out cyber attacks to further causes they see as socially just.
Absolutely.
Number 4, revenge.
Hell yeah.
Disgruntled employees, former partners, anything like that, who may turn to cybercrime to seek revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Alongside common goals, hackers also have certain common traits between them. These include high level of patience, really good technical skill, obviously.
Sure, has to.
A drive for power or financial gain. And they also tend to exhibit a form of psychological detachment from the consequences of their actions. I think that's obviously especially true in the context of AM if you think about how many people's lives were destroyed.
Well, yeah.
Well, because the thing is, I get that they're trying to like expose these people because they don't believe in adultery, but they must have known at the same time that it was going to hurt a lot of people, destroy a lot of marriages. Some people took their own lives.
Well, I think that wasn't the goal. Personally, from this
no,
story.
I'm not saying it wasn't the goal, but they must have known that something like that would happen.
Well, I think because the initial threat was close down the company or we will release this.
But then why say you give them 30 days, but then release that statement to the media anyway, like a week later?
Because they was either like,
I guess it's more public pressure to get them to shut down.
Exactly, yeah. So they wanted them to shut down, and then they tried to give them no other option other than to like show, okay, look, they'll at least try and save some people by being like, okay, this is your information, your partner's on here, have this conversation now, or break up with them. Pretty much.
But there's still like a part of them that must have known
that some people
must have thought there is a chance, a pretty good chance that they will not shut this down and we're going to release this information and then this is going to happen.
Possibly, yeah. I think they're
at least partly responsible for people that took their lives. You're going to disagree.
I do disagree with that personally, but that's fine.
Okay. Okay.
I think the people that took their lives, their own actions on going on the website themselves.
You're saying they deserve it.
I'm not saying they deserve it. I am saying that they are responsible.
They fucked around and found out.
Essentially.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand how you can sign up for a website that is this and think you can get away with it. And because I'm a big believer in like universal forces and karma. So like, you're going to do that, you're going to get some absolutely awful karma coming back at you.
Karma's coming at you.
I guess some people just don't care.
Some people don't care.
Yeah.
Or some people don't believe in it and, you know, they get away with it for a long time. And sometimes they get away with it forever. But a lot of people have things come to bite them back in the ass. So.
C'est la vie.
C'est la vie.
C'est la vie. But there's a couple of models. I mean, there's loads of models about behavior of hackers. But 2 that I found that I picked because they're older ones, I find them quite interesting. So a really old one is Bandura's 1977 social learning theory. Did you ever cover that in school?
I don't think I did, no.
So you've never heard about the experiments with the dolls?
That rings bell.
They're quite like bandy dolls or something.
No, I might be thinking of something else entirely. No.
So
please.
there were a series of experiments that he did where kids would watch I can't remember if it was a video or they watched it like live was like an adult would come in, like play with toys, and then like some of them would start getting like really aggressive to these dolls. It's like those dolls that like you can get punching bag versions, but like when you punch it, it kind of topples, but then comes back
Oh,
up, right?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
they're
yeah.
like weighted at the bottom.
Yes.
And then they would like put the kids in the same situation, and those that saw an adult getting aggressive would also display
Mimic that
aggressiveness
behaviour.
towards the doll. And it was even more apparent if they'd seen like a same sex
Sure.
person do it. It was more prevalent in the boys.
Obviously.
But yeah, if like a boy watched a man, they'd be more aggressive,
Towards
that
the
kind
doll.
of thing.
Yeah. It's a bit telling.
So the idea of that theory is that individuals pick up criminal behaviors through associating with criminals in person or social groups, and that an individual is likely to engage in criminal behavior if he chooses to differentially associate with criminals and imitate their behaviors, and is exposed to definitions that justify or rationalize such behavior, and whether he received differential reinforcement that rewarded such behavior in the past. Layman terms.
Yep.
See someone, associate yourself with them, exposed to things that then justify your behavior, and then you get reinforcement that rewards that behavior.
Even more layman's terms, monkey see, monkey do. Monkey get rewarded.
Monkey rewarded, monkey happy. Yeah.
Monkey rewarded, monkey keep doing. Yeah.
However, as existing social norms suggest, because this is an old theory,
Yeah.
humans tend not to engage in deviant behaviors unless otherwise having convinced themselves that their actions are justified.
Okay.
So that's the kind of the idea that I'm seeing this person punch this doll, but I'm seeing that, but I'm not going to do it because I can't justify myself doing it,
Sure.
which is kind of how society nowadays
You think?
works generally.
Okay.
It's too simplistic of a theory, basically.
Sure. I think just as a point on that, to bring it back to something that I suppose I relate to in video games. Here we go.
Here we go.
When people like have a choice of playing either a good character or a bad character.
You always be bad.
Well,
Yeah, but you have like a power fantasy.
and I think that's a good thing of exploring in video games anyway. But it's the idea of like, oh, you've got like people who, even though they have the choice of doing bad things, like, oh no, I'm in a video game, but I'm going to choose to do good because even in a video game, doing bad makes me feel bad.
Yeah.
So it's that.
I'm like that.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas
Sometimes.
sometimes you just, if you want a little aggression.
I sometimes do run throughs of games where I'm like, I'm just going to be completely evil.
Can I
but I
make
still feel
all the bad
bad when I do it.
Mm.
Other than like an AC Odyssey where you can choose to kill the father like immediately at the beginning, I always kill him immediately in the beginning. Fuck that dude. He threw her off a cliff.
I know.
He threw a baby off a cliff.
That game, I suppose, is a bit more grey because it's the moral options are, it's quite, either way can be justified. Whereas some games you have a thing
No,
of,
fuck that dude.
well, you can choose to be the bigger person and not fuck that dude.
No, I'm killing him.
I know.
I think the first time I ever played it through, I didn't kill him. But then obviously like he comes back and I just found his character really boring.
Sure.
So I was like, I'm going to kill him next
Yeah,
time.
all right. Yeah, fair
I was
enough.
like, I'm tired of being a bigger person, you
Yeah.
know?
All right.
But yeah, anyway.
Anyway, sorry. Just to bring that to
Yeah, I get what you mean. So the other model that I looked at is Beveran's model of hacker development. This is 2001, so a little bit, more recent.
Still like 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's still not a good theory. So it's based on traditional theories of psychology and the flow construct. So flow is a sense of effortless action felt when highly involved in activity to the degree whereby attention becomes undivided and time is obscured by the involvement in the activity.
Yeah, I didn't get a word of that, to be honest.
So when I'm trying to think of an example. Okay, you're playing a game of rounders.
Here we go.
You're highly involved in this activity.
I am.
Having fun.
Yeah. Taunting the enemy.
Attention is undivided because not every people are watching, not just you, they're watching the batter, the fielders. So it's all undivided. It's not it's not a great example because you're mostly focusing on some people, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And then you kind of lose track of time because you're so involved in this activity.
I'd say so, yeah.
That's what the concept of flow.
Okay.
Because then all actions feel like they're then effortless because you're having, you know, where people are like, oh, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
I get that. Okay, makes sense.
That was how I read it anyway.
Sure.
Probably wrong. But this model also states there's an underlying tendency that causes a person to commit a crime, and that these motivations divide into 4 themes: compulsion, curiosity, control and attraction to power, and peer recognition and belonging to a group. So it suggests that as a hacker develops their skills, knowledge and motivation sustaining their activities might also involved. So it's kind of a theory that puts skill first before their intentions then become clear.
Sure.
Because I think that theory is kind of like most people do it out of curiosity.
I was going to say, because people, when people learn sort of computing skills and things like that, it's like you learn these relevant abilities and how to do this, and it's like, oh, okay, I can do this.
Can I go steal Tesco's customer data?
Or, you know, if I applied it in this way, is it useful here? What will this accomplish? Sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that kind of puts skill first, and then like motivations evolve. Which I get, it's better than Banduro's theory, but it's still quite, I think it's still a little bit too simplistic.
Sure.
But again, 2001, not a lot of online stuff.
I was going to say, I think there should be, you'd think now there'd be a more modern, relevant idea.
When I looked up, went back onto good old Scholar, a lot of stuff really look into it now is only within the last few years. Because hacktivism especially is only really just, like, still quite new, isn't it?
Well, it's been prevalent, thank you, throughout I can remember it happening, you know, even when I was in school, hearing about anonymous
yeah,
hacking
but recent
groups.
Research usually refers to the last, like, 20 years.
Oh, I suppose, yeah.
Or, like, 10 years.
Fair enough. I suppose with something like this as well, it has to be over a long period of time.
Yeah. But yeah, not all cyber attacks are driven by greed or revenge or monetary reasons. And now I'm going to shift to hacktivism.
Hacktivism.
Hacking as a form of protest. Think of it as digital civil disobedience, which is what happened in Ashley Madison.
Hell yeah.
Because they also did it for ideology reasons.
Absolutely.
So I'm citing from Romagna and Luke Felt. Again, sorry if that's wrong. There is no phonetic. It's on published articles. This is 2024. So this is only last year.
Damn.
So they say, said it in their article, hacktivism is a rising oh, that fucking word I hate. Phenomenon.
Yeah, no, you had it.
It's a rising thing event in the cyber landscape, combining elements of hacking subculture with ideologically motivated agendas inspired both by traditional activism and by new elements of the digital culture. This study uses the social identity model of collective action as a theoretical lens to analyse hacktivists' motives and engagement process. So they used the SIMCA, which is what I just said, social identity model of collective action. So it's used to study the socio-psychological factors that incite an individual to take part in offline forms of collective action. Its application provides 3 main findings. It says 3, but there was 5.
Pick your 3 favourites? I don't know.
I think I just miswrote that.
Okay.
So identity, justice, and efficacy all show unique and relevant relationships with collective action. An individual's identification with a relevant group predicts collective action, particularly when the group's identity is politicized. Stop me if any of this doesn't make sense. Don't say everything so far.
Please keep talking.
Based on the work on relative deprivation, the model acknowledges that the emotional experience of injustice and politicized identity are strong motivators to engage in collection action.
Yep.
You know what relative deprivation is?
I know what those words mean separately.
So relative deprivation is like your perceived, like what you perceive you have compared to other people.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So it's your relative, like, I don't know, poverty compared to someone else.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yep. So that's a lot to do with the like boosts political identity and stuff.
Sure.
Social identity appears to play a major role as it acts as a bridge across individual and group identity when it comes to injustice and efficacy. It strengthens the individual as well as the group's beliefs, fueling the emotional experience of a collective disadvantage. My problems are your problems, they're all our problems kind of thing. Yeah,
absolutely. Makes sense.
Efficacy, by the way, which is the one that I didn't know what it was, is like the easiness of an action.
Yeah.
Morality and violated moral convictions show positive interrelationships with the other three elements. This is particularly true for the link with identity because it energizes the relevant social identity by connecting the individual to higher order principles that demand respect and compliance.
Yes.
I am in group because this group believes what I do. These people higher up I can give respect to because they really stand for what I believe in.
We have a shared,
yes,
identity in that way.
So that model is to do with offline forms of collective action, but these guys decided to use it to interview hacktivists.
Sure.
Because they wanted to see, can it be applied to online forms of activism?
Makes sense.
So they did 28 semi-structured interviews over 4 years that considers these main elements of the model: morality, social identity, perceived injustice, and perceived efficacy. So do I have the ability to do this? Does this mean enough to me? What do I identify as in this society? Is this against my morals?
Yeah.
So the violation of moral values seems to be the main trigger to participate in the action, while social identity plays an important role both as a second step in the engagement process and as a bridge with the other elements of the model. So they found that, so kind of like the process of, am I going to do this hack?
Do this
hack.
Am I going to hack into this website?
Am I going to hack into this website? I perceive this as against my morals because I don't believe in adultery.
Okay.
Do I have the ability to do this? Yes. I'm going to do it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
Social identity was the second step in engagement, not efficacy.
So
this is against my morals.
Yeah.
My social identity is monogamous.
Sure. Yeah. As an example.
Yeah. So they also found that with regard to morality, that all 28 participants identified a violation of their moral values as the main reason for engaging in hacktivist forms of collective action.
Okay.
In light of said number, the actions of a third party that the respondents perceive as a direct or indirect violation of their moral beliefs are considered a strong, if not necessary, trigger to act, and that's in line with existing literature. Explain?
Please. Yeah, I think I followed, but
So their main reason is something is against their moral values
that they want to, but they don't agree with. Yeah.
So a strong trigger, if not necessary trigger, is that it has to be the actions of a third party.
Okay.
That they perceive as a direct or indirect violation.
Right. Okay.
So I guess it's kind of like what you consider a third party, like companies, like groups, rather than just like maybe like one person around you.
An individual. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how I read that. This is a very long, complicated article.
I can imagine.
So I was trying to just take what I understood from it. They also found that it's not necessary for a negative situation to create a direct disadvantage for the hacktivist. Indeed, several respondents acted not because they were personally affected by a difficult situation, but because they felt the need to restore the balance that had been disrupted by an unjust action.
Sure. So they are then sort of standing up for the people who can't stand up
for the
themselves.
people in their group as well. Like they might not have been like directly affected, but they feel the need to stand up for that person. And also I think it was if they were in a group, they wanted to say,
Take on a protective role almost.
yeah, like say someone else was affected by something in the group, but it's not something that they were personally affected by, it then creates an unbalance in the group. So they participate to restore the balance within that group.
Yeah, so then there's that sort of...
Even if they're like, this isn't against my morals personally.
Yeah, but this is affecting you and I, respond to you or have this relationship with you that I want there to be an equal footing. So I will show my support here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But again, there's not a lot of... That's like all I could find, really. I didn't do a deep dive into it.
No, it's fine.
Because I didn't want to do a long section on it.
I think that is really interesting. So what was the name? Where did you get the article from again? What was the name of the article? Or
it's just on... I found it on Scholar, but it is Ramagna and Luke Felt.
For anyone who's interested in further reading on that. Because I think that would be...
search up on Scholar, just psychology behind hacktivism.
Hacktivism, cool.
But yeah, that was all I had for you. Just maybe like to reflect on
a couple of those things. Well, that was very heavy on the psychology there, but I think that was really good to look at. Yeah, that's a lot of big
words. I'm so sorry.
Yes, lots of big words. I understood.
I hope I explained it.
I got most of it, I think. Yeah.
I think the main theory is it's mostly to do with morality hacktivists.
Yeah.
They're quite... I don't want to say like...
morality and ability, I suppose, because people probably have... Because I think...
A lot of people have the morals, but they don't have the ability.
Exactly, yeah. I think that the people who have the morals don't necessarily go out of their way to learn how to hack just to hack something that's against it. But if someone already has those abilities and then see something they don't agree with, they're like, well, I can do something about this.
Yeah, so I guess it's basically just a more in-depth model of, what was his name? The one before.
Yeah.
Beverin. Because his theory was that you develop the skill first and then your ideology.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
But yeah, like what do you think Ashley Madison, that scandal reveals about digital trust, morality and vulnerability? I have to write down some questions.
Oh my god, what?
Oh god, yeah, you have to speak.
I have to speak.
Do you think that tech can ever be neutral?
Tech?
Like technology.
I think that...
Going back to Musk and his grok chat.
Well, I suppose, yeah. The thing is, it's always going to be intention. People can intend... Well, not necessarily, actually. It's not about intention. I'm going to completely disagree with myself here. It's... People can create something, especially when it comes to AI and any sort of programming elements, and then it can be twisted and turned into other people's... To then put other people's agendas forward. So it would be very difficult to create something that is truly neutral, that could stay truly neutral with technology. A lot of technological advancements come from necessity, from times of crisis, and then it gets changed from one way or the other. I would say, in that sort.
Yeah, because not even like search engines are neutral.
Not anymore.
They're based off SOs,
like
SOs, search optimization,
and people who. And you can sort of pay to have your if you have
advertisements. And stuff,
exactly. Yeah. Well, I have advertisements, but it's also then if you have a company that you want to appear higher in a Google search list, for example, my because this happened to my parents because they wanted to have their company be able to be more visible online. So they would type So if you type the name in like of their company and it wouldn't come up, it would be like 3 pages down. You can then pay Google to be like, hey, we want us to be more relevant, and they'll be like, cool, we'll pop you closer up. So.
Oh god, it's because we started talking about Google. Gemini's popped up on my phone.
Oh no. Who's listening?
Funny.
Who's listening? But anyway, yeah.
Yeah. The other 2 questions on here are actually a bit shit, so I'm probably gonna ask.
You can ask one on this one. Or both. Ask whatever you want.
The middle one's kind of just, I don't think, who gets to define betrayal in the digital age? The people involved.
The people involved, yeah.
We'll move on from that one. That's a dumb question.
Sure.
What happens when secrecy becomes searchable?
Yeah, well, that's a good question.
Ruins marriages, apparently.
It ruins marriages, but, there's also lots of secrecy involved in, the top of my head comes to, like, the American government. They have lots of CIA files and things like that after a while get released and then get searchable.
I think there is, because it's the argument that we have the right to know as a public.
The right to know,
but also I'm very much under the impression that there are some things that...
They'll still be redacted.
That the government do that we shouldn't know about because it's for our own protection.
Interesting. So you want control through order, or order through control, whereas I would probably rather have the freedom to know and the freedom to choose.
Yeah and no. I'm talking about things like, things like I don't know, like information that the government keeps that shouldn't be made public or searchable from the side that it could cause national security threats.
Sure. Okay.
That kind of thing. Like if other countries or terrorists got their hands on information that could harm the public.
Right.
I'm not talking about like, government went and bombed someone. We should know about that.
Yeah, we should know about that. You're absolutely correct. Yeah.
I'm talking about things that would like, I don't know, I feel like really on the spot and I can't think of an example right now.
Like the names of any
undercover agents.
MI6.
Yeah, things like that.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, like things like that.
Okay, no, that's an understandable example. I would say, yeah, that shouldn't necessarily be public knowledge.
Because then it's kind of like the argument about like.
But that's the whole nature of clandestine operations, I suppose, is they have to be
big word.
Secret.
Thank you.
But yeah, I suppose it's.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of arguments around it, but I think like this, we're talking about like big things.
That's a big subject for us.
This is just like
we're just a couple of dudes hanging out,
just information on people that are cheating.
Yeah,
absolutely should be public.
Oh shit! Yeah,
name and shame.
Name and shame. Definitely. That's the thing. If you think you can get away with it,
unless it's people that are on there because they're in open relationships, then don't shame them. But if they're people on there that are seeking affairs when they're meant to be in a monogamous relationship and there is meant to be that agreement between two people, when you're breaking that, then absolutely name and shame them.
I feel like we've said this before, but if there are issues in a relationship,
talk about them,
or
go to therapy,
or
break up,
or just be like, this relationship isn't worth it.
What did I show you this morning when it was like
your eyes are up there?
It was that video on TikTok of that girl that found her boyfriend on Tinder and confronted him about it, and he said,
it's like, I don't feel fulfilled in this relationship, so I just joined Tinder.
And I was like, if your first response to someone pulling away from you in a relationship is to download Tinder instead of being like, hey, I feel like you're pulling away, can we talk about it, like, can we fix this, you don't like your partner.
Or is that just a failure to be emotionally educated on how to deal with these feelings?
No, you're just a dick.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I do think some people don't, get taught that stuff, and there is a failure there. But initially, yes, we do need to deal with the consequences more than anything else. So, shall we wrap this up? Are we happy to finish it there?
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you for
listening.
Absolutely no idea what our next. I don't know. What do you fancy? Do you fancy maybe another scandal? Do you fancy a bit of a murder mystery?
Let's do a murder mystery.
Let's do
a murder mystery.
Yeah, okay. You ever heard of Gabby Petito? Nope. Okay.
That's a conversation for off the podcast.
Yeah. So, okay, we'll commit to that. Our next episode will be on Gabby Petito.
Cool. Sounds good. I look forward to hearing about it then, when you all get to tune in next time.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye.